I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell,
good afternoon, everyone. This is Gilbert Buchanan on the Business Zone, along with
Crystal Mitchell.
And we're going to have a wonderful show today. We've got some great guests in the studio today. And Crystal.
Hey, Gilbert, how was your week?
Oh, man, it's been crazy as usual.
Yeah, I know.
All over the place. I was in Sacramento on Monday doing a workshop for Edison, the California Black Chamber of Commerce. It was great. We had about 25 people in that workshop.
Okay.
It was wonderful, and they loved what we were putting down. So.
Oh, fantastic. Was that the EDGE program?
That's the EDGE program. And as a matter of fact, they just gave me about 3 other assignments.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they loving you,
I'm pretty excited. I'm looking at the evaluation forms, and I'm seeing some great reviews. I'm going, wow, I guess I'm not doing so badly.
Oh, you're good. You know you're good at what you do.
So I can't wait to do your workshop on the 22nd. That's next week,
we're
right?
Looking forward to it. And we had our breakfast mixer on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah?
And everybody's excited.
Good.
We had about 40 people there. So
that's
we're going to twist their arm, and they're going to be forced to come sit in the room with the 26 people.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
But, everybody has a problem with the networking thing.
Yeah, well, see, a lot of small businesses, they don't understand the value of some of these events because they've been to many of them and they're not so great. So they figure more or less, well, I don't need to go.
Right.
But once they come to our event, then they see that it's totally different.
Yes.
And it's not the regular run-of-the-mill type networking event. So...
Yeah,
I can't wait.
And it's important. A couple of things happen, from a network standpoint. So yesterday I was in the supermarket, and this young lady I knew from a Zumba class, from my Zumba class, not the one I'm in now, but one I was in before. Yeah. And she come running up to me, oh my God, I've been seeing you. Oh my God, you're like a celebrity. You're like, okay, dial that down a little bit. But it was so funny. And then today I went to the National Association of Women Business Owners, the leadership luncheon.
Oh, wow.
A house full of women.
Yes.
Powerful women, innovative women, and so it was really fantastic.
That's amazing. That's a novel event, right?
That's the novel event, that was really
that's
cool.
A phenomenal organization. I've taught workshops for them too, but
Yeah, so I'm going to be a join, and then I talked to the membership chair, and I don't know if you know, I think her name is Shawnee Rourke. She is with a company called Redmond Industries. She's now the new incoming president.
Oh, no.
She's an African-American woman.
Shawnee,
I think it's Shawnee. And so she's also on my Facebook. She's a Facebook friend.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to work on getting her on the show.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because I got some connections that are close to her.
Oh, yes.
And so her on the show, and the membership chair is going to come on the show.
Yes.
And who else did I talk to? Karen Bass, possibly.
Oh, yes. Good. See, those are good people we want on the show.
Yeah, so it was a good time today.
Yes, that's great. And, that's great. So I know you're the queen of network. So I know that. I gotta raise my hat to you. When it comes to networking, you pretty much put it together. You make it happen.
Yeah, so I come in there with a plan.
Yes, and these people, they respect you because they know what you're about.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's great.
When I talked to Nabo, when I was talking to her, she, speaking, they didn't have an opportunity to speak there. Mm-hmm. And then, I'm with this group, the Bella Network.
Yes.
So we're about 755 strong now.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know,
We got to get some of them on the show.
We do. So the founder, Alicia, was here.
Yes.
But she works with Northrop.
Yes.
And so she works with the supplier diversity of Northrop. So she was working with them because they were a big sponsor.
Yes.
And then Deborah Flint from the airport, she was there. So I'm going to see if we can work on getting her in the show.
We definitely got to do that because I've been talking to a lot of small businesses, this week, and they definitely need to make contact with those folks. So we really want to make that connection. I mean, you and I are working on getting them business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. We want to put them in front of those guys so they can participate. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and I talked to a guy, and I was telling him about you and what we're doing. He's from Sempra, SoCal.
Oh, what's his name?
Gas. Vernon? Was it Vernon?
Vaughn.
Yeah,
I know him.
Vaughn, right?
If you talk about me to him, he'll say, you know what? Gilbert owes me a sweet potato bread. I made one for him, and he just fell in love with it.
Oh, really?
He's in love now.
He was excited, so he wants to come on the show, and then we get Rodney Potts on the show.
We definitely want him on the show.
And then Dave Ford, he's with Edison.
Yes.
So he spoke at the Breakfast Mixer on Tuesday.
Oh, great.
So I told him I want him, and I want somebody from the Supplier Diversity on the show.
See, you're doing some great things.
Yeah,
this
so
is wonderful.
By August, we're going to have all those people on the show.
See, for those of you who are listening to the show for the first time, first thing I want to do is to tell you a little bit about our show. Our show is a supply diversity platform which brings small businesses together with supply diversity contract providers. And Crystal and I, we've been doing some great things over the years to help these small businesses to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. And what you guys probably don't know, it's our anniversary.
Oh, yeah! Yay!
Next month will be 1 year that we're on the air.
1 year we've been on the air.
Crystal and I. And Crystal, you might want to tell them a little bit again about your vision, how we got started. It was Crystal's vision and dream to have a show.
Yeah, planted the seed. I was on Mother Love's show.
Yes.
And so I had such a fantastic time. So when I came away from the show, Barbara Lindsay called me because she was kind of instrumental in getting me on the show.
Yeah.
And she called. She goes, "How was it?" I said, "It was absolutely fantastic, Barbara. I want to do that." So she pinned me down and she said, "So when do you want to do it?" Like, what do you mean when? I don't know. Hey, this is just the seed part. I got to sow the seed. So she says, "No, give me a date right now." And I went, I don't have a date, and so she kept pinning. So it actually was July 8th last year when I was on the show. So I said, okay, July 8th. And so that was it. I put it down. And then this lady here, Felicia, came.
Our producer.
She came to the RBD meeting, and she did not let me go. She kept calling and coming and calling and coming until I came into the studio, and we sat down. I talked to you, and we said, like, okay. So she says, what date? I said, I don't know. We need about a month to market, and that month was July 8th. And so Barbara, when I sent out the first promotional material, which, by the way, popped up, you know how in Facebook they give you the memory stuff? So that particular piece of marketing material popped up today, and I put it out there.
Amazing.
And when she got it, and she says, July 8th, she called me. She says, Krista, do you remember the date? I'm like, no, Barbara, I don't remember the date. She goes, it was July 8th. So I manifested it 1 year.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, so the affirmations, which we're going to talk about today, affirmations work, man.
Oh, for sure. And that's why we got to celebrate next month. I know Crystal is going to be out of state. She's going to be doing some phenomenal work out of state. But once you return, we definitely want to have a big anniversary party. Maybe it will be a mobile party in the field.
Yeah, we'll.
So we want to do that to recognize this show and the small businesses we've been helping since then.
Exactly. Yes. And the guests, everybody that helped make our show successful. Yes. So, because we're appreciative. Everyone, we're really appreciative for those of you that have been on the show and have been guests for the show. Nolan Rollins, he from the Urban League, the president of the Urban League, he kicked it off.
He was our first
phenomenal guest. And actually, one of the highest rating viewed shows that we've had. So that we're just so appreciative to him, and then everyone else that's been watching the show and subscribing to our YouTube channel. So we just want to thank you guys, and hope you continue to watch us, and hope we continue to bring you quality information.
Exactly. And for those of you who are listening who want to tune in and speak with us or speak with our guest today, our number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. And if you want to log in and tap into us live, it's morrismedialive.com. That's morrismedialive.com.
Right. So, Washington.
Oh.
Been a little wild this week, huh?
Oh, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy.
It's a wild ride.
You know, I expect a lot of crazy things out of there. The thing that scares me the most are the programs affiliated with small businesses.
Yeah.
Those things scare me. I really don't want them to cut those programs. Seem as if they're going to cut a lot of those. You know, the MBDA, we spoke about those, right?
Right, exactly.
Minority Business Development Agency. They're cutting, I think, about $12 million out of their budget.
Wow.
They don't really have a large budget.
No.
They had like $38 million last year. This year, they're going to have about 32. Small businesses depend on that budget from the MBDA, the Minority Business Development Agency. As a matter of fact, one of our local business owners here, Pat, what's her name? Pat Means?
No. Pat died. Pat was PR. She was marketing.
Yeah, she has a company, an electrical company.
Oh, okay.
Pat Watts.
Pat Watts.
Oh,
there we
that's
go.
okay. Pat Watts. That's good.
Yes. Thank you, Pat Watts. So she has a company, and she was featured on MBDA. If you go on their website, you'll see her on there.
Okay.
So
Wow.
she's gotten help from that program. So the small businesses around here are getting benefits from that. So we don't want to see that program go away.
No, we don't want to see that
And
at
that's
all.
why, you know, it bothers me when I hear those crazy things going on there in Washington, because a lot of people, they don't understand the value of small business.
Yeah.
The thing about small business that many people, and I want to put that out there so many of our entrepreneurs, our listeners hear this, 70% of small businesses that are out there are immigrants. 70%. And the reason for that is many immigrants who come here, they cannot find jobs, they cannot find opportunities. The only thing they need to do is
Just start their own business.
And
a lot of times in their own country, that's
Exactly.
what they've done is started their own business.
Exactly.
That's the driving force
Right.
in economy is
Right.
entrepreneurship.
And they need these small business and economic development programs to help guide them, because many of them, they know their craft. They know what to do. And that's one of the things that we've seen on this program. They're good at their craft, but when it comes to managing the business, managing the back office, they don't know that. That's
Right.
where you and I come in.
Right, exactly.
So we need those programs to help fund those training activities and help fund those small businesses. So we can't afford to have it. So it's craziness that's going on.
And that one, and even with all the craziness that was going on, there was also the budget for the education coming from the educational department from Betty DeVos, and they're talking about cutting out $9 billion out of that.
That's unbelievable.
And so one of the shows that I was watching, he was saying that. And it's important about the business because we do know that could be devastating. But even if let's say we're at the beginning of the 4 years and a child is in high school, and you remove all of the programs, all the assistant programs, so now that's 4 years of a president. Now that person can't get to college. They're doing low menial jobs, and then that becomes generational because you're going to have the children down the line. So that could be 2-3 generations down the line that you've destroyed, in addition to the business. So I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that there has to be some changes, and I think it has to change in Washington.
I think we're going to have to do what we can do also to help. You see what I mean?
You know, state of California, our gangster governor, he's becoming our president. So I love gangster Governor Brown and a lot of states are doing that. A lot of states are having to step up and become their own leadership and not worry about Washington until they figure it out.
Exactly.
We actually have a co-guest host today, Miss Norma T. Hollis.
Oh, wow.
She's the authentic voice doctor, so she's going to be here to help us have a conversation. And
with our
guest, Mr. Tom NIX, he's a friend of hers, and she helped us have him on the show. So I thought it would be an excellent thing for her to interject with us. And she's got a lot of value here. She's been in the community for a while. Yes, Norma?
Well, maybe we'll hear a little from you so you can tell us.
So why don't you share that great news you just shared with us?
Oh, wow. Give me my announcement.
Yeah. Are you ready to make it to the world?
I don't mind. I'm so proud of it and so happy about it.
Let me hear it. I want to hear it.
Well, I had a call this morning at 9:30 this morning, and it was an application that I had submitted about 2 weeks ago to be an artist affiliated with a trip to China to spend 5 weeks with some university girls to help them find their authentic voice.
Oh, wow.
And of course, that's what I do. And I've always referred to myself as an intellectual artist. So I write programs for human development based on what I see as human development needs. It's not something that people really understand and respect and honor and stuff. So to have that is like, wow, somebody gets it.
Yes,
you know. So I'm just really excited. Yeah.
Now, how did you find out about that particular opportunity?
Just one of those happenstances. I had recently begun reaching out because I wanted to do more speaking engagements myself and more radio and TV. And I have an organization that I belong to, and she connected me with a lot of people. And through one of those people, I got a notice about a show called The Author Show, which is a radio show. And I got on there, and then they just did a blast. They said, I just happened to see it because I don't even see everything, But one of those blasts saying, opportunity for writers for this China thing. And I said, let me check it out.
That was meant for you.
It was
that was meant for you.
Yeah.
And that's so funny that you said that, because today on Facebook, when I was at the luncheon, I was going through Facebook because I was making an announcement that we were going live. And there was another opportunity for China. They want to pay teachers or educators to teach Chinese children English.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the Chinese take education.
Like you, right?
No.
Yeah, ain't me. So I put that up on Facebook.
A lot of folks can do that. So.
I put up there for those educators, language educators that are looking for an opportunity. They'll pay them $2,000 a month in addition to whatever else they're doing.
Crystal, you've been involved with teaching kids too. You've got a program coming up this July, right?
I do. We have this is our signature program. I do it with Los Angeles Urban League and Nifty, which is the network for teaching entrepreneurship to kids. We have a biz camp, a 10-day biz camp, starting July 10th to the 21st. And I'm one of the certified teachers, and we're going to have 24 children be with us 8 hours for the day for the 10 days.
You're going to be fully engaged.
I'm going to be fully engaged in Urban League's new smaller office. We used to have a big building. And so we're really excited. Our sponsor is American Airlines. So American Airlines is going to provide us with a problem that they're experiencing. And the kids are going to provide the solution, and then they're going to create a business out of that solution, and then they will complete a business plan, and they will do a live pitch, a Shark Tank type pitch before the judges, and then after that, they're going to compete for a cash prize.
And maybe our next guest could talk to us about how he can help to fund some of those programs.
Well, that would be great. In fact, today when I went to the luncheon, I met, I think there was 15 girls that came from the program. The Nifty program is actually held throughout the year at schools, through our LA Unified Schools.
Yes.
But that's a 9-month program. We take the 9-month program and we condense it down into the 10 days.
Yeah.
So these kids are awesome if they come out with a business plan.
In 10 days.
Our adults don't even do that, right?
I've been teaching business plan classes for the longest time, and it's difficult to get them to do it in even 30 days.
Yeah.
Much less 10 days.
These kids get it done in 10 days. Actually, they get it done in 7 days.
That's phenomenal.
And then we work on them presenting it. So they have to present to us all day long until they're ready to pitch. And then they have to do a fast pitch. And now this is, they'll be doing it to the American Airlines. There's some bankers that we will have there that will be the judges, and then throughout the week we'll have our professionals come in. So I'm looking for professionals that want to come in as mentors and volunteer an hour or two of their time to sit down and talk with the kids on any aspect of starting a business. Because I think it's important for young people to see other successful people in their community, so they know that they have something to strive for.
That's
so
great.
I'm really excited about that.
That is great.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Really would love to help out, but I'm thinking that I'm probably going to be in Vegas around about that time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be touch and go, because I was just told that, I just completed that eight-week training program for contractors in Vegas. They're moving the Raiders Stadium. They're going to build the Raiders Stadium in Vegas. So we're getting those contractors ready for that project. So it's phenomenal, and it's huge dollar amounts, and all the casinos are chipping in as well.
Okay.
So the graduation is going to be in July. Not quite sure exactly what date yet. The organizers will tell me. And I want to be there.
Okay.
Because
well,
MGM is going to be there and a few others. So,
of course you do.
Oh, yeah.
And we have the graduation for Mount SAC coming up. They pushed it up. So now the graduation is going to be on the 26th.
Oh.
So check your calendar.
Of June?
Of July.
Oh, July.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's amazing.
I know, it is.
See, Crystal and we also have a program going on at Mount SAC. So Crystal teaches the payroll and accounting and the bookkeeping. In QuickBooks, and she's been phenomenal. She's got a placement rate of 100%?
95.
95%.
That's great.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
So what she does, she gets these individuals ready so they can do bookkeeping for other organizations, and some of them, she placed them in those organizations as well. So this is phenomenal. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Kudos.
Well, we can't make a change if people don't have skills.
Exactly.
They got to have skills, and they have to have skills that they can be paid decent salaries, and not just. One, they're getting my expertise for being in the bookkeeping and accounting field for the last 30 years, but I also give them scenarios from my consulting business, because I've actually done books for every kind of company that has been there,
every industry,
from mom and pops to Fortune 500. So they're getting what I would be doing if I was the bookkeeper for that particular company.
Right.
So they're getting that, and then the other phenomenal part is the part where they're being taught how to use Excel, but from an instructional point, from pivotal tables. I didn't even get that. I mean, I couldn't do what they're doing, learning, and so I think that's amazing, because most of us in the business world kind of did a blind method, Braille method on learning how to use Excel, right? I just copied and pasted whatever the formula was there, and then I kind of backtracked. That's how I learned Excel. But they will be able to create Excel spreadsheets from scratch.
That's great.
So for certain big companies, that will be a phenomenal skill set for them.
Yes.
So they're excited. Actually had them pull up 5 jobs that they felt, based upon what we've learned over the last 4 weeks, what they've learned, and pull those job descriptions up and those job openings, and they applied for them last week.
That's beautiful.
And and then we went over how they would address their being an entry level, and we kind of went through that. So now we're into payroll.
And what we also do, once they've gone through the training over those periods of time, once they graduate, then we bring them on the show, we interview them, and we have them put their skills, their expertise, their capabilities out there, so employers who are listening can at least see their level of competence, and we'll try to hire them. So it's a great partnership that we've got going with Mount SAC, the county, and ourselves.
So that's my rewarding. The 2 things that I really find pleasure in is the youth program, anytime working with kids, and then the Mount SAC program for the last couple of years has been extremely rewarding, and just the results. Yes. And that these are people who can now take care of mostly women. I do have one male every class, but mostly women with small children. And we talk about looking for a career, not a job. Right. So that and cultures that will help them go back to school and continue on if they want to go further into the accounting field.
Excellent. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour right now, so we're going to go ahead and take our break. And we'll come right back with our guest in the studio. And you're going to hear some phenomenal things, small businesses. You're going to hear some phenomenal things from him that may help you to elevate your business to the next level. So let's take a break. You're on the Business Zone. All
righty. See you guys in a minute.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop, and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone. This is
Krista
and Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic, along with our co-host today,
Norma Hollis.
All right. So today we are excited to introduce our next guest. Crystal, do you want to?
Well, actually, we're going to have Norma do it, but I am so pleased that he is here, and he's gone from amazing stuff from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum.
I can't wait to hear it.
And it's when I was reading his bio and some other information I was very impressed. And I didn't know that much about you prior to now. I knew kind of surface stuff, but I was very, very impressed.
Well, thank you. I'm so impressed to be on your show.
Well, thank you. So we're going to let Ms. Norma, the voice doctor, wow us with his bio.
Well, you're talking about Tom's wild ride, because Tom had what he calls a wild ride in the inner city. And, you know, if you're in Los Angeles, you've probably heard of NIX check cashing at some point in time.
Oh, yes.
And if you just saw Tom there on the screen, you probably are saying, "Oh, I didn't know he was a white man." That's what I said when I first found out that he was a white man. And that's what I think Crystal said also, and Tom has mentioned that that's what happens. But he definitely is one of us, whether he looks like it or not.
Yeah.
And his wild ride started when he says, thank you for that.
And then I did a great job.
Yes, indeed. Well, Tom's wild ride started when he was a gang member down in San Pedro. Mm-hmm. And he was living the life, doing everything gang members do, not having any thought about what the future was. Yeah. Even though his family already had a business. They had a thriving bakery business. And Tom eventually decided to be a part of the business. And over the course of time, he transformed that bakery business into an alternative financial organization that actually changed the way banking is done in Southern California and now beyond. And another noteworthy thing is that Tom's NIX check cashing was the only bank open during the riots.
Wow.
And people respected him so much that they made sure nobody touched Tom NIX check cashing.
Wow, that's
Isn't
amazing.
that something?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
So he is amazing, and he's written this book, which he'll tell you about, and he has this great philosophy that he'll tell you about. It would turn his life around. And I don't want to steal his thunder. I'll just let Tom take it from here.
So how do you go? First of all, how did you get to be a gang member? I'm so sorry.
Well, growing up in San Pedro, there were three types of kids.
Okay.
There were the smart kids.
Okay.
There were the surfer kids.
Okay.
And there were the lowrider kids. So I was a lowrider kid and ended up in this, we called them clubs. There was about 24 of them in town. I was in the Essex.
Okay.
And we had three objectives in those days.
Okay.
Get drunk.
Important. Okay.
Get lucky with the girls.
Okay.
And fight anyone that looked at us in a hostile manner.
Okay.
So I had dozens and dozens of fights during those days, and I was good at it. And I liked it. So it was different than the gangs of today.
Right. That was different. Yeah.
Yeah, a little different. But the point is, it was probably not quite a wholesome way to grow up. And, when you're a product of your environment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And one of the things that was transformational for me was the fact that I was able to go to USC.
Okay.
And I was a football player. I was captain of the football team at San Pedro High School. Played 1 year as a Trojan.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, my dad opened our family business the year I went to SC in 1966.
Oh, okay.
With his life savings of $1,200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And so I worked, after that first year in football, from that point on, I worked 40 or 50 hours a week, full-time in the business, graduated in 4 years. And, our process started to build our little company. Originally as a baker distributorship, that evolved into a mom-and-pop grocery store.
Okay.
That's where we learned how to cash checks.
Oh, okay.
So we had this brainstorm. Mm-hmm. What would happen if we opened a freestanding drive-through check cashing facility? Never been done before. Mm-hmm. And we did that in 1978 on the corner of Imperial and Figueroa.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
In 1 year's time, we were cashing $1 million a week in checks.
Wow. So did you have to be FDIC certified or registered?
No, we were not a regulated business at that point.
Okay.
One of the things I want to remind your viewers, especially because they're business people, is the foundation of any business is to find a need and fill it.
Right.
I don't care what your product, service you're offering, you're filling a need. Mm-hmm. And we had tapped into this incredible need. Mm-hmm. So in '79, we sold the market, opened our second store. Mm-hmm. We developed our strategy of providing fast, friendly, courteous service at a fair and reasonable price from locations that were clean, well-maintained, and professionally staffed with people that lived right in the community. Mm. And that was a big departure from the few check cashers that were around that
Right, because there wasn't too many though, was it?
There wasn't.
Okay.
So tell me how that worked. Someone comes in with a paycheck or any check?
Payroll or government check.
Payroll check.
We didn't cash personal checks.
Okay, good. So they come in with their checks. They said, can you cash this? I don't have a bank account. And then you give them the face value on the check?
We would charge them a service fee of initially 1%.
Yeah.
Then it went up to about 2.5%, a little less than about 2.2% over the 40 years that I owned the business, or 30 years that we opened the check cashing business. Mm-hmm. But it's a service business. Mm-hmm. So people would come in, they would present their check, we'd charge them a small percentage of the amount of the check as a fee. Mm-hmm. To offset that cost, we would provide them 5 free money orders to pay their bills.
Wow.
Now, a money order at a bank in those days was like $3.
Yes.
And, the average check that we cashed was $300. So it was a $6 fee at 2% to cash that check. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I guess at 1%, a $6 fee. But they'd get to offset that with the
money orders.
With the money orders.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
And then we sifted and sorted and figured out what else can we do to provide service to the community.
Yeah.
So of course we had Western Union, later MoneyGram. Mm-hmm. As I was telling you a little earlier, we were one of the first people to distribute the prepaid MasterCard, which gave people for the first time an opportunity that didn't have a bank account to be part of the mainstream. Mm-hmm. They could reserve a room, they could reserve a rental car because they had a credit card, a MasterCard.
Right.
Now they had to send the money in. They didn't send it in. They came into NIX and gave us the money, and then we would put it in the system and go in. But the key point is that we use that strategy, along with our business philosophy, which we'd had from the start of the business, our philosophy was to go about business with a high level of integrity, a strong sense of fair play, compassion, and being an integral part of the communities we serve. So coupling that philosophy with our strategy, we were able to grow the company to 55 locations, 450 employees, and we served hundreds of thousands of customers every month.
That's amazing.
Satisfied customers.
That is amazing.
Wow.
It was really something.
That is amazing.
And it's interesting because I came here in 75, but I was still in school. So 78, I didn't know any of that stuff was going on. I don't think I'd even ever ventured further past Crenshaw at that age because we lived on the west side. But as I started in business, though, I never knew, one, that it was offset with, because I had read articles that, about the predators that were in our communities, and that's kind of the banking, I guess, fault, because they wanted us to feel that way. And that's what I had always heard about those. And I think I've only been in on NIX maybe twice, and I think I did a money order. I took someone there to pay their utility bill.
Well, I will tell you this. In the beginning days, there were a lot of predatory check cashers. And I spearheaded an effort to regulate the industry.
Okay.
Which capped the fees that people could charge.
Right.
Required that they post their fees in a conspicuous manner.
That's great.
And to give a receipt with each transaction, filed with the state attorney general. So if somebody got overcharged, they had a number to call and complain. That eliminated most of the price gouging and that sort of thing. Because I knew that to stand the test of time, we had to be a legitimate industry.
Right.
I mean, we were doing a great job as a company, which made us a great competitor. We forced our competitors to do it right.
That's good.
Right.
And it was a fabulous experience. We had a very strong family environment in our company. Had almost no turnover amongst our full-time employees. And in our part-time employees, we'd hire for cashiers part-time, not cashiers, but tellers. We'd bring in people from the community that had absolutely no experience, but they had character and they had desire and they wanted to work hard. And we would, probably like you do, we would work with them and train them and give them an opportunity to start building those skill sets. And most importantly, self-confidence, that they can go on and build a successful career for themselves. So that's one of the ways that we were part of the community. We've had thousands of people that worked in our company over the years that had nothing but great things to say about us.
Yeah, I've seen actually a couple of the reviews on a couple of your employees that were raving about you and raving about the organization. And again, like I said, I didn't know that because it was not really anything that was being told to those of us that weren't utilizing the services. But I do know, just from working with the young people that I work with, that when you feel that, one, you may have a credit card, whether it's a prepaid or secured or not, you feel more empowered that you can go into a store and hand them a card like everybody else. No one knows the backstory.
Right.
They just know, okay, you can go in and you can pay for your services with whatever the money is on the card, and you feel more empowered and you feel like, wow, I am a person in the community that has value. Because, and I always say this, if you have no money, you feel about that big. Even if there's a check coming in next week, you still feel that big. When you get your check the following week, then you can hold your head up and feel your shoulders. So, wow, that's phenomenal.
See, one of the things that really touches me about what you're saying, I'm the type of person I'm an advocate for small business. So I do whatever it takes to help those small businesses so they don't get taken advantage of or anything like that. And what I'm hearing from you is so noble. This is just phenomenal. I like the things you've done for small business. You've gone up against your competitors, because you could have joined your competitor and said, let's gouge these people. Let's charge them 18% to cash their checks because they have nowhere else to go.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why in transitioning from this conversation, I'm hoping we can talk about, I don't know if you're still in that part of the industry or if you have access to it, but we want to see if we can find a funding source for small businesses, because as you know, small businesses, they don't get loans from banks now. They don't get lines of credit because banks don't recognize them. So if we have an entity that can make that funding available, and based on what we do here in getting them bank loan ready, because we put them through a process. You know, they're not getting a free ride through our system. They're making sure they have their balance sheet, their profit and loss statement, their statement of cash flow. They've got their 3-year tax returns set up in the system. They also have their marketing document, their business plan, their business license, their fictitious business name, all of those things in the system to make sure that they're legit.
That's great that you're giving them that kind of help.
Oh, yes.
I'm really disconnected at this point, as I was mentioning. Well, let me just finish the story for you.
Yes.
One of my missions with my business was to create full service over-the-counter banking right at the NIX location, where consumers could come in and they could either choose the alternative financial services that NIX offered or full service over-the-counter banking. And whatever product fits your needs the best at that point. And our first stab at that was with Union Bank. We provided a streamlined type of banking where they could come into NIX, a customer could, and apply for a Union Bank account, get an account, and they would use the full-service ATM outside of the building to do the banking.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and we had 36 of our locations that were set up for that.
Okay.
But in 2007, I finally accomplished my mission when I sold our company to Connect a Federal Credit Union. It's the old Hughes Aircraft Credit Union, and which is a bank.
Right,
Credit
exactly
unions
what it
are
is.
basically a bank. And so they then provided full service over-the-counter banking at NIX. NIX check cashing is now called NIX Neighborhood Lending.
Oh, wow.
They still have the NIX in there.
That's
I'm proud
beautiful.
to see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they've changed the name of the company. But the success of our company, starting with my dad's $1,200 investment, we sold the company in 2007 for $45 million.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic.
And that's after making millions of dollars during that period of thing.
Right.
And not only making money, having passion about doing something good for the community. You know, John Bryant has a statement that he says, let's do well by doing good.
Yes.
Or it could be do good by doing well. One of the two.
I think it's the first. I think it's the first one.
But the point is, if you can figure out how to deliver a product or service in a way that is respectable and honest and gives people value, value enough that they're willing to pay for that service, that allows you to make a profit, everybody wins.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's kind of the experience we had.
Yes.
And actually, you know, if you were doing when you said 2.6%,
it was about 2.2, I think.
Okay, so PayPal is 2.75, and any of the actual new ways, alternative ways to collect money is about 2.75%. So
the maximum you could charge in the state of California is 3%.
Oh, okay.
That's by law.
That's by law.
That's my law.
Okay.
I mean, I'm so proud of putting that law in place.
That's fantastic.
The maximum you can charge is how much?
3%.
3%. Okay.
3.5% if you don't have valid identification.
Okay.
3% for most folks.
Okay.
That's fantastic. So you took $1,200. Actually, I think that was your father's way
was
to
my
get you out of
$1,200.
trouble, right? I don't know if you figured that out, but I think that was
Just
your.
have him work hard.
He's like, let me just make him work so hard he won't even think about all that bad stuff he was doing. So you took the $1,200 and leveraged it up to $1 million business and then sold it for $45 million. That's pretty awesome.
That's phenomenal. That's a true small business story right there.
It's a small business success story, and I'm very excited, and I'm excited to share with people how I made that transformation. And one of the things I want to share with your viewers today is how that anyone can create a more happy, healthy, prosperous life for themselves and overcome challenges they face by using affirmations, visualization, positive mental self-talks, and pictures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was my secret weapon.
Oh, okay.
And I started doing that 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And really transformed myself into a professional, successful business person and happy person. I wasn't all that happy.
Mm-hmm.
No, not if you were loving fighting.
And I was good at
it. But you couldn't have been happy. So how did that happen, though? How did you? Who introduced you to that?
Well, a friend of mine inspired me to listen to a book on tape called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
I love that book. That's one of my favorite books.
Every person, but particularly every business person, should read that book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can get that on Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love that book, Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a new one, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough.
Oh, really?
He added that component to it for the African American population. Great. But excellent book.
So that really got me started, and it really launched me on a crusade to figure out how to be happy, how to be successful. And I listened to dozens and dozens of self-help tapes and went to seminars. For about 10 years I did this. Mm-hmm. And as a result, I came up with what I call life's key concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's these 10 concepts that I use personally and that I trained in my company. Mm-hmm. Once you got to be a senior teller or assistant manager or manager, you went through Tom's class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And my class was to teach you how you could be as successful and happy as possible using these 10 key concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
and
great.
What we learned early on is the more you contribute to the well-being of your team,
Mm-hmm.
the more they contribute to the well-being of the company.
That's true.
And so we invested in our people in many ways, but that was one of the major ways. And now I want to share that with whoever will listen.
Right, right.
Because it's the secret juice that will help you transform your life.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants the same thing. Happy, healthy, prosperous life. Mm-hmm. Now, what that means specifically to different people is different things.
Yeah.
But we all want to be happy, prosperous, and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you can do it with these 10 key concepts. And I have a free copy for them.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So
All
do you
right.
want to share those 10, or do you want them to get the copy?
I want to talk about the first one because it's very complex.
Okay.
But I want to tell your viewers to go to nixland.net. So that's N as in November, IXLAND.net.
Mm-hmm.
And look under the About the Book tab, and you will find an icon there that says Life's Key Concepts. Touch on that, print it out, and you've got it. 10 concepts, 9 of them are very straightforward. And if we have time, we can talk about those also.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's not straightforward. The first one is really the one that I started learning about with Think and Grow Rich. And then 11 years ago, a gal named Linda Byrne came out with a video called The Secret.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. That's another must-see.
Yeah.
45-minute. You can watch that for free on Netflix. And if you don't have Netflix, go to thesecret.tv and watch the film. It's $2.99 to watch it. Mm-hmm. If you do 3 things, if you read Think and Grow Rich, watch The Secret, and get my Life's Key Concepts, you're going to give yourself the foundation upon which you can create a life that you won't even believe.
Yeah.
And I'm here to be the testimonial for it.
Yeah.
And that's really what I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned is that by using affirmations, visualizations, and positive mental self-talks and pictures, we can put in our conscious mind the things that we want in our life. And that filters down into our subconscious mind. Mm-hmm. And our subconscious mind goes to work trying to create that in our life. Mm-hmm. And that's called the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. And the law of attraction simply states you get what you think about. Mm. And so most people aren't thinking about the things they want. They're thinking about the things that they don't want.
Right.
I'm broke. My wife's or my spouse is such and such. Mm-hmm. You know, they have negative things that they think about. So you have to be disciplined about your self-talks to make sure you're programming yourself for success. Mm-hmm. And we're all talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? Are you saying things that are shooting yourself in the foot? Or are you saying things that are helping you to move forward? Because the subconscious, it doesn't take a joke. Whatever you say to your subconscious mind, it starts working.
It's going to register. Yeah.
So self-talks, visualization, big thing in sports now. You know, sports guys, they visualize their performance and they do better. Putting a picture of what you want helps you get it in your mind. But the thing that is my most favorite is the affirmation part.
Yeah.
So affirmation is basically a statement about what you want in life as if you already have it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You have to be careful to avoid using the words no or not or don't.
Or
So
can't.
Affirm what you want, not what you don't want. And don't use the words will or going to. It refers it to happening somewhere in the future.
In the future.
So all you have to do is write what you want as if it's already occurred. So my example for everyone is the fact that I had this horrible, horrible temper. And that's not a good attribute for anybody, especially if you're in business.
Right.
Because you alienate people. And then you feel bad, and then you got to go apologize. And they most of them accept you apologize, but you've already damaged
Right, exactly.
their relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I said this affirmation: I am calm, composed, professional, easily recognizing the non-event. Eliminated that problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't say I no longer lose my temper or I don't lose my temper.
Yeah.
Because that would just help me
To
lose
reinforce
my
that.
temper.
Right.
Temper would be the main thought of that affirmation. And I didn't say I will be calm, composed, professional. I am right now. Nothing could be further from the truth when I first started saying it. And my wife is like, I hope that works. So that's how you write them. And you have to do 4 things to make them work. 1, you have to write it correctly. 2, you have to say it at least once a day, once or twice a day. You have to say it every day. 3, you have to affirm something that's realistically achievable, realistically accomplishable. And 4, you have to be prepared to accept the ideas, the intuition, the people, and the opportunities that come into your life. Because that's how it works. It draws to you, it attracts to you the things you need to do or to have or to be or to take advantage of that you're affirming. And I have a miraculous story about that. Am I talking too much?
No, we're enthralled.
We got 2 minutes at the top of the hour to a break, so we could do it in 2 minutes.
I'll try.
Yeah.
So when we got ready to sell the company in 2006, I hired a investment banking firm called Barrington and Associates.
Okay.
And I told them I don't want to sell to a competitor if possible. They'll fire everybody at my main office, really ruin everything we'd done for 4 decades. You know?
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, but that's who can pay the most money because they can cut expenses and what have you. I said, well, try. Try. Well, they appraised the company to sell for about $30 million. And I went home that night to tell my wife, she was like, I thought she'd be thrilled. She's like, that's not enough. That company's worth at least $40 million, Tom, and don't you sell it short. And it started making me think maybe we could get that much.
Yeah.
So I wrote this affirmation. We sold NIX check cashing by July 31st, 2007 to a strategic buyer for $45 million to the benefit of our shareholders, our employees, our customers, and the community. And on July 31st, 2007, I signed the deal with Connecta to sell our company for $45 million.
Phenomenal.
But here's the amazing part. Connecta was not one of the 8 companies that Barrington had interested in our company. The sale of my company to Connecta happened through a chance encounter at John Bryant's community event where he brought bankers to the inner city. And I met somebody at that event, and that coincidental meeting or greeting ended up selling our company to Connecta.
I think I was at that event, actually.
You might have been.
No, I think I was at that event because that was the very first time I think I had heard of Connecta. Wow. Yeah, amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
See, sometimes when we think that certain things are going to happen a certain way, something from the outside of the blue just comes in and takes it in a different direction.
Well,
That's
when
what
you're
that is.
firm, that's what it is. You're
Yes.
not telling the universe how.
Yeah.
You
Right.
just told the universe what you want,
Yes.
and then the universe goes to work on making it happen. You know, like the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I just said, "Hey, this
That's
is what I
exactly
want."
right.
I had no
Good experience.
idea. I didn't even have a plan.
Yeah.
And then Barbara Lindsay just happened to confirm it. Okay, let's write that down so I can hold you accountable. And I just went on about my business. But about 2 weeks later, she came to the meeting, and I didn't even hear Felicia. I mean, because I was. It's a meeting, and so you know how it is. You've come to an RBD meeting, so people are calling and pulling me, and so sometime I hear people doing their 30-minute pitches. Most of the time, not, because somebody else is asking me a question. So I really didn't get the gist of what she said. And then she came to the next meeting, and I went, "Oh, that's nice." And then again, like I do, networking. Hey, you guys should really look at her studio, not me.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break right now because we're at the top of the hour. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert and our special guest today.
Norma Hollis.
And we'll see you shortly.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
And we are back, and we've been having an amazing conversation about manifestation and affirmations and taking and changing, revolutionizing our lives.
With our special
With our
guest.
special guest, Tom NIX, and our guest co-host today, Ms. Norma Hollis. Now, Norma, you actually also are in this space. Did you know that Tom was, or did you know him when he was...
I did not know Tom when he was doing his check cashing. I met Tom through a couple of contacts, Gerald Smith being one of them,
Right.
Because I used to own a speakers bureau,
Oh.
and Tom was ready to get out. We tried to get him a couple of years ago, but he wasn't ready. But readiness is important because you have to be ready for it,
Right.
to do that and be clear on your message and what it is you want to share, and in his book and what have you. So he reached out to me when he decided he wanted to get in the speaking industry. So I've been coaching him a bit and putting him on a lot of radio shows and looking for speaking opportunities. So anyone that would like to hear his wonderful message live, let us know. We'd be more than happy to get him booked for you.
Thank you.
He is, as you can tell, he has great information and he's a great speaker.
This is his book right here.
Called Nixland, my
Wild
ride in my inner city check cashing
There we
industry.
go, right there.
So you want to check that out.
And I'd like for him to talk a little bit about character, because he mentioned character so much in how you hired employees, and it's been one of my beliefs that one of the reasons why companies don't survive is because they hire just on skills and not on skills plus character. So obviously you did a good job of that, and I was wondering how you were able to discern character in hiring people.
Well, it takes a knack because we really looked for character. We figured if we have a good quality person that has desire, we don't care what their background is. We can make something out of it.
Right, exactly.
And believe me, when you make something out of somebody, they are eternally grateful. And so it's a win-win.
Yeah.
We trained our entire workforce to do the right, fair, honest, honorable thing. And we led by example. And one of the things that you find in businesses, they teach one thing, but they lead in a different way because you lead by example.
Yes.
So if they see the boss, the owner, doing
Going
something
in the
that's-
opposite
Yeah,
direction.
they're like, yeah, right.
Which is what we have today.
what happens a lot.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And so you have to be the person that works the hardest, that never breaks the commitment to do the right, fair, honest, honorable things. We had this thing in our company. We said, look, to anybody that was in a decision-making role, we said, we want you to look in this hand and see what the best thing to do, what the right thing to do from everybody's standpoint, from your standpoint, the company, the customer, the vendor. Figure out what the right, fair, honest thing to do is. That's in your right hand.
Right.
Then look in this hand and see what you selfishly want to do. What's in your best interest?
Right.
And for whatever reason, maybe it strokes your ego. Identify those things. Look at those baths. Choose this hand, will you? Choose this hand. It'll pay off. And the payoff is that people will follow you, support you. They want you to be successful. And the vice versa. If you don't behave that way, if you don't deliver that in the way you go about your life, you're not going to get people to hope you're successful, to support your success as an individual. So it's very, very important, and I think lost to some degree these days. People think, well, I can cut corners and I can do this. The other thing we trained is that reliability matters. Say what you mean. Do what you say, show up on time, and return your messages timely. That's an incredible way to make yourself stand out from the crowd.
Yes.
So those are the kind of things that we would do to inspire our people to be the best they could be and do a really great job.
Right.
It's hard, though, to answer your question, it's hard to actually find somebody's character from an interview. But you do your best, you call some references, and then you've got to put them to practice, and you got to keep your eye out for when they show their true colors. Then you know.
That usually come up within 90 days. Usually come up within 90 days.
You got to pay attention.
You got to be paying attention.
And deal with it when it happens.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, sometimes you have a sense of discernment. You can kind of tell from just some of the vibes if you're connected to the feelings and the aura around a person, like, and then of course then you listen intently. I got that from dating. You got to listen to everybody intently, man, and listen to see if you heard any variations from what you heard when they first was wooing you.
And if it repeats itself, then you know that's an affirmation. That's what they're really about.
That first red light, like, let me watch this for that next light. Yeah, so I got that from dating.
I didn't have that experience. I married my high school sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, Crystal used to run a dating company, so she knows what's going on.
If anything happens, I'll call you.
Okay, yeah, that was actually my very, very first company, my first business with my girlfriend. One, I had just kind of left the corporate America, and I was really a lone writer as an entrepreneur. And it was so funny because today when I was at the novel, they were talking about how you could be lonely being an entrepreneur. And at that time it was, because everyone I knew were in corporate America, their 9-to-5 jobs. Here I just like walked away from it all, and my mom's like, benefits, what about benefits? I'll make enough money to pay for my own benefits. I can't do that anymore. And but I was by myself. So then I thought, wow, okay. And dating was an issue because I was meeting guys who worked for 9-to-5s and they didn't get it. Right. I work all night long and sleep late and all that kind of stuff. Like, okay, something's wrong with you, lady. Right. So it's like, okay, let's start our own dating service. My girlfriend and I. And then from that, we started a networking organization as well, because we realized we needed to bring the entrepreneurs to us. And we had to have a reason to do that, and that's what we did. So, but that you kind of learn that, and that's some of the things that we taught to people when they're dating. But you were lucky finding your high school.
Yeah, I've been married 47 years in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic.
And at least 42 have been happy.
Okay.
Which 42? The first 42 or the last 42?
We're gonna say it was the part of the front.
Well, there's been a couple of rough spots
in between. And you have 2 grandchildren. So how many children?
Well, I actually have 3 grandchildren.
Okay.
And 1 on the way.
Well, congratulations.
So I have twin boys that are 10, and another grandson that is going to be 1 in July.
Oh.
And 1 in the oven.
And
it's a girl.
It's a girl?
I finally have some girls in the family.
Now, did you have sons?
Someone's going to love me. Yes, I had 2 sons.
Okay, so you're going to spoil this little one to death, huh?
Stand a chance.
Not a chance. So did you pass that on to your sons, that affirmation and positive thinking? And
yes, I did. And I did it early on.
Okay.
Which meant it didn't really stick.
I
had them go to Dale Carnegie.
Okay.
That's another great course for people to go. Dale Carnegie program. And I had them do 2 or 3 things to get them ready. And even Dale Carnegie is like, they're only in high school. Why are they in here? I'm like, no, I want them to get this program. We sent every one of our managers through Dale Carnegie.
That's fantastic.
To invest in them. So, but, it was a little early because, then they went through the stage of growing up and
it didn't resonate.
Creating distance as boys do typically. But they've come back and they're doing great now, and I'm real proud of them.
Fantastic. In fact, it's so funny you said Dale Carnegie, because there was a guy that I actually went to a network NSN meeting, which is a national sales network, and the guy, his name was Roland Gilbert, and he was a speaker, and he's a certified Dale Carnegie speaker. Fantastic skills. I mean, great speaker. And so he became a Facebook friend recently, and he's been putting some information out, and I've been responding. So the other day he actually called me, and we had about a 2-hour conversation. Oh. He's going to come out and mentor the kids at the camp. Nice. And he was like, I'm not quite sure when I met you. I said, I can tell you exactly when I met you. But, that was more corporate and I was more entrepreneurial. So, and so I didn't even go up and speak to him, but his conversation or what he talked about it resonated with me. And I've actually used some of it when I've spoken to other groups as well. Small world. Right. We live in a very small world. So I know Melba Carter, Gerald Smith. We actually have a close relationship. And Norma, it's just, this world is very, very small.
The older we get, the smaller it gets.
Yeah, the older you get, the smaller it gets.
So, Tom had some really challenging experiences along the way. He had a mob experience. So, did the affirmations help you with that?
No.
First of all, how did you get to the mall from California?
Well, Guts helped me with that. So maybe the gang thing. Okay, so in this book, Nixland, My Wild Ride in the Inner City Check Cashing.
Okay.
It was a wild ride from a number of standpoints. One of them is what Melba is bringing up. Is Norma. I had Norma.
All right.
I had a assassination threat from the Chicago mob.
Wow.
And that was that was quite an exhilarating experience.
I would imagine exhilarating might not be the word I'd use, but okay.
But one thing I learned growing up is that you can't run away from a schoolyard bully.
Right. Mm.
So we fought back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I won't give you the detail; it's in the book.
Okay.
But we prevailed in the sense that I'm still here.
Okay.
And actually, what happened? We were the end of the story is we were on a riverboat in New Orleans, and one of the Chicago guys comes up to me and he says, "Well, Tom, you've made your point." He says, "I think we should just go back to competing in the marketplace." I had a bunch of muscle with me.
Yeah, you had your bodyguard.
I had 8 bodyguards, or 7 bodyguards plus myself, and everybody was armed.
Okay.
Everybody had a bulletproof vest on but me.
Okay.
Why? Why not?
Well, I didn't want to show any weakness.
Oh, okay.
Here's a gang member, remember?
Which was a good thing because when it was actually at a convention, a check cashing convention, when I showed up there, some guy walked over me, poked me in the chest 3 times, which is typically how you point out the guy that's going to be killed.
Oh, wow.
And he goes, "Gee, I'm surprised you don't have a bulletproof vest on." And I said, "I don't need one." So the point is, I don't know if he was trying to scare me or what the deal, but they didn't.
Okay.
And so it was quite an experience. But also, we had an amazing experience during the 1992 Rodney King riots.
Yeah, that was pretty profound.
Yeah, and as Norma pointed out, we had customers that actually protected our locations. We had 26 locations at that point. Only 2 of them were burned. We were in several centers that were burned to the ground. We were the only building standing in that center. And we came to the aid of the city at the request of then City Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas, who called me at home and said, "Hey, we're not going to put an end to this until we get cash in people's hands." So that's actually a whole chapter in the book.
Okay.
That's a great story.
I was just looking at that part.
Yeah.
Were you here in 92?
No, I came here at 99.
Okay. I was working in I was still in corporate America. I was working at a financial planning firm. I was in financial planning, and I actually was a member of FAME, Birthday ME Church. So Cecil Murray was really part of that whole. It was a core of people here in the city.
I know him.
That galvanized during that time. I was living in the Valley at the time. My mom lived in LA, and it was my birthday. So I will never forget this because I couldn't get home to my family.
Right.
And I had to be in the Valley. And I lived in Sherman Oaks. So the company that I worked for knew I was very much involved in my church. I was a Girl Scout leader. I was a junior trustee. So they came to me in the firm, and they're like, "Okay, we want to do something. So we're going to get on the phone. We're going to start collecting money," because you're absolutely right. They needed money. So we were going to get on the phone. We're going to collect money. Now, the company was in West LA. It was in Bundy. And so, okay, we're gonna rent this big old huge panel truck, and so Crystal, call your church and find out what's going to be needed down there, because you can see on TV that everything was all hell was breaking loose. And so we're gonna get this panel truck, and then tomorrow, and we're gonna get all these cars, and we're gonna go to Costco, and we're gonna buy all of this stuff, and we're gonna take it to your church. Okay. Okay. So I called my church, and to my connections, they told me what they needed. So the president or the CEO of the company, he says, "I'm going with you guys." So he called all his people, and so we go to Costco, and he's buying diapers and everything. And so with the money he collected, when he got done, it was just like about this much. So we had these big old panel trucks, and it was just like sitting in the middle. He goes, "Whoa, milk and diapers cost a lot of money, huh? It didn't go quite as far as I thought. And that's the point. That's the point of what's going on down here. It's not about the money, it's the access. If you don't have access, and I was listening to or reading Al Franken's book, him being a giant in the Senate. And one of the things he says, if you want people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but if they don't have bootstraps, they don't have straps and they don't have access, then they don't have anything. Right. And then you just have disparity, and then this is what you get from that. And that was really what the 92 riots were. They were just so tired of hitting up against that wall and feeling like less than human and being treated like less than human, that was the outcome of it. Right. And I remember, and I was in the Valley, and I remember going to the supermarket, and now I knew nobody was coming from Los Angeles over the 405 into the Valley. That just was not going to happen. But you would have thought in the Valley that those people were getting ready to be under siege and the apocalypse was going to happen. I went into the supermarket, all the milk was gone, all the water was gone, all of anything, the survival things were gone. And I had to laugh. I was like, they're not coming out of their neighborhood. That's why they're burning their neighborhoods, because they don't know how to get out. But it was interesting. Now the Korean community, they galvanized. Right. And one of the ladies I met that she had actually purchased some satellite TV stations, and she said she always wondered, how did they come together so quickly? Because they had their own networks. And they got on and they got to talking, and they were able to protect their businesses, and that was how they did that. And she said that resonated with her, and she says in the inner cities, that's what we don't have. We don't have people talking to us, telling us what we need to do.
Yeah. Well, I have some video memorabilia on my website of the riot.
Okay. So
you can go there and watch a video of some different TV segments that came on during that time with NIX.
Wasn't the anniversary this year? Was it this year?
Well, it was 1992.
Yeah, 1992. I think it was May or June or April. Yeah. They sold.
That was in April.
Yeah, for Rodney King.
Now, let me ask this question, Tom. I see here where you're saying how your relationship with Wells Fargo was strained. You want to tell us a little bit about that just before you got to Union Bank?
Well, one of the nice things about my book is I've got all kinds of lessons learned.
That's what I'm talking about.
Most of them from mistakes I made.
Yes.
Well, the long and the short of that is we came up with another great idea, which is called our Store Within a Store program.
Yeah.
And we put a 12 foot by 12 foot kiosk into major retailers. Ralph's, Food for Less, Thrifties, Pick and Save. Remember Pick and Save? And we even had one at Shell Oil and a McDonald's restaurant. We really expanded the company during this period to 87 stores. But I overexpanded. I expanded too quickly.
Yeah.
And Wells Fargo sent me into workout. That was my bank at the time.
Yeah.
And so we were on the verge of going out of business.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
During that period. And so it's really important for business people to take the measured risk. You have to take risk in business if you're going to move your company forward.
Yeah.
But you don't want to take too much risk.
Right.
That you can slice your own throat, which I almost did twice.
Yeah.
I did it earlier in my career also when I was in the Santa Claus business. We provided Santas to all the major malls.
Right.
And I expanded that thing too quick because I was going to be this and that.
Yeah.
And almost went out of business at that time too. Right. So I had to learn that same mistake twice. And as a result of that, we had 27 stores up in Northern California. I had to sell those off at a fire sale to save the company.
Okay.
And so it was a sobering experience, but one of those that that you learn a lot from. And that's one of the things that I believe in. We all make mistakes. The question is, do you capitalize on them?
Yeah.
Do you look for the silver lining in the mistake you made so you get some value so that you're a better decision maker in the future?
Yeah.
Because I look at life as, there's the birth lottery. You know, you've heard of the birth lottery. We have no control of what country we're born in.
Nope. The color of our skin.
Color of our skin,
language.
what community,
Nothing.
or what parents we get.
Yeah.
Right,
Whether
or what
they're
parents
good
we
parents
get.
or not. But after that, it's all on us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's about our choice making. So we're going to make choices all through life. Be cognizant of those choices. Evaluate those choices to see what's working, what isn't working. What isn't working, figure out, well, what do I need to do differently in the future? That's the kind of thing that helps keep people growing and moving in the right direction and helps them learn how to be successful.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter where you are. It matters where you're going.
Exactly.
And that's an important mindset that I have it on my Life's Key Concepts. There were so many times that I was in such despair
Yeah.
owning this company. And I said, well, that doesn't matter. We're going to be successful in this. We're going to make a new plan, and we'd figure it out, and we'd move forward. And people's lives are like that.
Yeah.
Not just business. Your life is like that.
Right.
And so I think it's really important to have the concept, if you're in a bad situation, to say, okay, I recognize it, but that's not important. What's important is where I'm going.
Yeah.
And keep yourself looking forward and moving forward.
I see.
Now, when you made the decision, was this a succession plan to sell, or did an opportunity? Was there a process?
Well, what happened is the Union banking at NIX worked so well that the Union Bank wanted to buy our company. And that was our plan, that we'd become a division of Union Bank. And we had really worked at that for about 10 years, not only with Union Bank, but with a number of different financial institutions, because I knew at the end of the day, the best way to serve the community is to give them freedom of choice. Let the consumer choose what service best works for them, not what somebody else tells them is best for them, but what's best for them. The problem is, in the inner city, there wasn't convenient banking.
Right.
So that choice wasn't readily available. It was available, but you had to go out of your way to get it.
Right.
So it was a natural to combine a bank like Union Bank with NIX check cashing.
Yeah.
And we also had John Bryant's Operation Hope involved in our company. And not in our company, but in our
the process.
in our
Because
process,
he was
in our
doing
partnership.
he was doing the financial literacy
He was doing
program
the financial
for
literacy.
mortgages, right?
And how to handle a banking account, checking account. But here's what happened. This was a killer. Union Bank went to the OCC, which is the Office of the Comptroller of Currency that regulates banks. And they turned the deal down. They said, no way are we going to have you doing business with a check cashier.
Wow.
That's second-rate banking. It's not the same bank that they have in Beverly Hills. And we are not good for us politically. And we're like, well, wait a minute. It's either no bank or a bank that works, because the truth of the matter is large brick-and-mortar banks don't work in the inner city.
That's true.
Because the dynamics aren't there. The profile doesn't work. Banking primarily works when people save money, people borrow money, right? And they also have fee-based business. But if you don't have as much savings and you don't have as many qualified borrowers, your expenses won't allow the banks to make money.
Right, exactly.
So what happened is in 1979, when they deregulated the banking industry, prior to that, they were forced to be wherever the government wanted them to be. After that, they looked at what branches do we make money on and what ones we don't. Well, the ones they weren't making money on, they closed them down.
Right.
Yeah, that was the consolidation
Those are
of
the
the
inner
big
cities, right?
Yeah, when you
in
really got
every
the
in
big
every
banks.
low income community, because the business profile wouldn't work there.
Right.
So anyway, to answer your question, a long-winded story, because I'm really upset about this even today. But at that point in time, I said, okay, fine, I'm going to sell the company because I'm never going to become a banker in the inner city because the government won't
let you.
Right.
Yeah.
And even when I was doing my affirmation, we had 8 buyers interested in the company, and they weren't a strategic buyer. And I went to my wife, Pam, and I said, my affirmation is not working. It can't work. Nobody in the group can meet the bill. And I said, but I'm going to keep saying it because you never know. And then that happened. Then out of the blue comes somebody that introduces us to Connect a Federal Credit Union. We fell in love, and that was what happened.
Yeah.
And that was actually
unbelievable.
When the credit, that's when the banking came to our community, because the department of DWP had the credit union. Right. There were a number of churches talking about starting credit unions because people in the inner city community understood credit unions.
Right.
See, the thing about what you experience and you're talking about right there, that's a norm. That's how it works. The bigger conglomerate, their goal is to squash and keep out anything else that may be competition to them. So then once they make things difficult, then we will run to them because we have no other choices, just like you were saying earlier about choices. So that's part of their process. So by them buying you up and getting you out of that way, it would be easier for them to take control of these communities. So luckily, this entity that bought your company was on a different wavelength. It's not the same as what those greedy conglomerates were about.
Right. And well, it's a credit union, and a credit union doesn't have shareholders.
Yeah.
Right.
It's owned by the members of the credit
members,
union.
right.
And so it was a tremendous approach to creating my dream of providing choice in the inner city.
Right.
And I've been retired now. I sold the company 10 years ago this year and been retired for 8. So I worked there a couple of years.
Yeah.
That was another thing that was very difficult for me. I assumed I would be with NIX check cashing and my family, my NIX family, until I keeled over. Maybe in some role,
Right.
The old codger.
Come rolling in every now and then, his chamber of the board.
But it didn't work out, so I had to write an affirmation. I said to myself, I'm so excited to be retired with the freedom, time, money, energy, health, and enthusiasm to do whatever I want, when I want, free of worry, stress, and business obligations. That's not how I felt. I was sick.
Right.
It took me about a year to adjust to it because the truth of the matter is there's 2 ways to get rid of people. You either terminate them or you make their life so miserable they want to leave.
They will leave on their own.
And that's what happened to me. I finally gave up the ghost and resigned from it because, and it's not all their fault. Part of it is I was used to being the boss and I ran the show my way. And now I'm not the boss and I've got to run it their way. And that was an adjustment for me.
And their way wasn't a part of your vision. That wasn't your vision.
They weren't doing it right.
Right, exactly. You know who else did that was the lady that created, the teacher that created Airborne. She sold her business. She came in as an executive. She didn't like the way they were running it, and she bought her company back. She said, this is not what I had. This is not what I envisioned. Y'all can't have it. I want it back. So she paid more than what she sold it for, but she wanted it back.
Well, it's very commonplace when they get the old guard out, the new guard in, and all of that. But I thought it was going to be different with me. I mean, I was so ingrained in the community, and so it was that was a big disappointment. But I'm proud to say that Connecta continues on with NIX, a little different now, NIX Neighborhood Lending. One of our hallmark programs was our annual food drive, where we feed 1,200 families every Thanksgiving.
Wow.
Connecta's still doing it.
That's good.
And so they're very involved in the community, as we were. We had a scholarship program for decades, and they continue with that program. So they are a good company. They recognize that to be all you can be, you have to be a good corporate citizen. You've got to support community organizations and do your part. And so I'm proud of them.
Now, because it was NIX Check Cashing, then NIX Financial, and now it's NIX Neighborhood. Because I watched the progress of that. Because in Inglewood, there was one right there on the corner of Manchester and La Brea, and I worked over in that little area.
Well, actually, it went from NIX Check Cashing to NIX.
Okay, right.
Then it went to NIX Financial.
Okay.
And now it's NIX Neighborhood Lending.
Okay.
The key point is there's always NIX.
NIX is there.
That's beautiful. Let's go ahead. We're at the bottom of the hour right now, so we're going to be wrapping up soon, our last 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll come right back to the Business Zone and our wonderful guest here today in the studio.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
We are back. We have just had a phenomenal conversation and learning all about NIX Financial, NIX Neighborhood Banking, and NIX, and Tom Nick.
And the thing I love about this is Tom Nick is a regular entrepreneur, just like all of us. He made all the mistakes that we've made. He's done all the things that we've done in order to start, grow, manage, and expand our business. So that's why this story is so phenomenal. That's why I love what I'm hearing about this. And this is amazing. This is amazing.
Did your father actually, so he started the business, what was he doing prior to the business?
Well, for your old timers in LA, there used to be a bakery in town called Helms Bakery.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Right. Okay, they used to deliver donuts and bread to the home. And my dad worked for their major competitor called Golden Crust. Less well known.
Oh, okay.
But in 1966, Golden Crust sold out to Helms. They didn't. My dad was sales manager. They didn't need two sales managers.
Right.
So he was out of a job.
Okay.
Which happens a lot. People start business because they lose their job.
Yes.
They go, I'm going to take this opportunity. Well, he didn't have any money. We didn't have any money.
Yes.
It was $1,200 when he started, originally as this bakery distributorship, distributing bakery products to 28 independently owned bakery route drivers that didn't want to go to Helms.
Okay.
That's how we started.
Yeah.
And we had a day-old bakery thrift store in front.
Oh, it's right. It's still there.
Okay. It's still, well,
it was.
It was there for many years. But, that slowly evolved into full mom-and-pop grocery store.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
Oh, okay. So he really didn't have didn't really have business experience. Again, it was what did I call it? It was solving a pain. It was a pain out there, and by necessity, which is how a lot of businesses start.
OTJ.
Yeah, on the job training. On the job training. Right, exactly. But I like the fact that because a lot of our business owners, when you talk to them and you say, okay, what do you need to start your business? Money.
Yeah.
Okay, but I was last week on the show. I was sharing with someone else on the Nifty. I was a contract accountant for a .com company back in, I don't know what that was, in
the 80s?
or no, that was actually in 2000.
The 2000.
And the company had gotten $12 million infusion of cash, investment cash. I came in August, and 10 months later, they had burned through $12 million.
Wow.
So it's not necessarily about the money.
Yeah.
And they had no business experience. And the first round of investors, because they were .coms, they were IPOs, first round got their money back, And so when they went to go for the second round, let's see P&Ls. Well, out of that $12 million, all they created or generated in revenue was $350,000. Okay, that is not a good debt to ratio, right?
As opposed to 12 million.
That burn rate was and they did not understand. And mainly they had high salaries. And I mean, anybody could come in with some proposal, with some idea, and they would just kick out $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for it, $100,000, and so they burn through it. So it's not always about money.
Yeah.
No,
Norma,
but you have to have money
questions?
Well, you got to have money
to grow the business.
Yeah, you got to have some money, but you just got to know how to use it. But not always having a big, huge $12 million influx is going to make your business successful.
Right.
What you did, the learning on the job.
Yeah,
So-
and we funded our business through private limited partnerships initially.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We went out to, and this is one of the great vehicles for small business people.
Yeah.
You go out to your friends and your family, and this on small scale.
It's like crowdfunding, right?
It's crowdfunding.
Yeah,
right?
crowdfunding,
Well, there's crowdfunding now, real crowdfunding.
That's the original
But
crowdfunding.
this is the original crowdfunding. Original crowdfunding is going to your family and friends and getting them to buy into your vision.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how we grew the business. We had 4 locations. Banks wouldn't loan us any money. And we knew there was a great opportunity. We saw what happened in the banking industry, then moving out.
Yeah.
We had need before. There's going to be more need now. We got to
Yeah.
get going on this.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody would invest in us. So we went out and started these private limited partnerships. And over about a 4-year period, we raised $4.6 million.
Oh, wow. That's
in
amazing.
family, friends, and business associates
Yeah.
without a broker because they believed in the vision and they believed in us.
Yeah.
And it worked out to be a great investment for
Yes.
them. It took them a long time,
Yeah.
about
Okay.
20 years.
20 years to get their return.
Well, they got some return along the way.
Some dividends. They got a little bit of dividends every now and then.
But the it's one of the ways that small business people can fund their business
Right.
is through that.
That effort. Now, I'm thinking, I'm guessing, based on listening to you, when you started, you probably didn't have a business plan, right?
Absolutely not.
I can tell. I can hear it.
But I should have.
What part did you include in? On-the-job training?
On-the-job training. We did this. We did that. We couldn't get funding. Because sometimes the funders, they're looking at your plan. They want to say, okay, what is that plan? Where is it going? How is it going to work? What's the forecast? And if they're not seeing that, they're going, I don't think I want to bet on this. So that's probably.
And you're right.
Yeah.
You should have a business plan.
Yeah.
That was silly not to have one. A lot of small business people don't.
Yeah.
Right.
But even if it's rudimentary, you should be putting it out on paper.
Yes.
What your goals are, how much money you're going to need.
Yeah.
You need to figure it out on paper first.
Yes.
Well, that's part of that affirmation and visualization and writing stuff down, right?
Part of learning too. Yes, that's good.
I had an interesting thing happen. We were partners with Western Union. We created a joint venture partnership called NIX for Western Union NIX.
Yes.
And the idea is that we would open 10 stores in the Northern California area. Well, right off the bat, I found a store that was for sale, and it was a great deal. So I went into Western Union. I go, I got this great deal. We can kick off our process. And they go, but that's not the plan. I said, yeah, but it's a great deal.
Yeah.
He says, look, here's the difference between you and us. NIX is a event-driven business. We're a process-driven business. You take advantage of events that come up.
Opportunities.
we work by the process.
Yeah.
Well, they ended up giving they gave in and let me do it. But
Right.
But the point is, it was a very important thing.
Right.
And I think there's a combination of those two things.
There should be a combination. Because nobody says that events-driven stuff isn't going to work. Nobody knows that. So you combine that with a process, and it should be successful.
I think you can't fly by the seat of your pants all the time.
That's true.
Without burning your pants.
Gotta have a process.
Which I almost did a couple times. But I think that some of the big companies, they get too process-driven, that they miss the opportunity. So it's a combination.
Yes, yes.
So during this process, even though you were learning on the job, did you have a mentor?
My dad.
Your dad?
My dad was a mentor.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
He was a high school dropout.
Yeah.
But a hard worker and a big reader. So he read a lot. He was a very smart man, not educated.
Yes.
Okay, but street smart.
Street smart, tough guy, and tremendous integrity and character.
Yeah.
So, I inherited that from him. Okay. I was lucky there.
Do you have this book on DVD or?
Well, it's on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
You can get it as a book or a Kindle.
Yeah.
You can get it on iTunes too for your iPad.
Yes.
That's the way you get it.
Because I think this would be good for business owners while they're driving to listen to this
audio
story.
book.
I don't have it on audio.
Because this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty quick read because the print's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love it.
I wanted my friends to be able to read it. They're hard to see it.
I love it. I love it. This is amazing.
But definitely a journey. So now when you go out and speak, and those is the topic you're talking about is one, the life key points, concepts, right? And also, are you talking to businesses on your experiences and how they too can maybe do it a little different? But
well, my primary passion is to share the success I had with these mindset tools.
I think that's excellent.
That's what drives me. Because look, when you're when you come up and you're disadvantaged, you don't get it. You don't know that you don't know what you can be. One of the things that happened to me is going to SC opened my eyes that I could do and have more than I thought possible. I never one day felt that I measured up at SC.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was still a lowrider kid from San Pedro.
Right.
My friends didn't know it. I mean, I hit it pretty well.
Right.
But I was still a lowrider kid. And so, but working, going to school, going in the military, this gives you an opportunity to get out of the environment you're in and start to realize there's a bigger and better world out there. So what I want to give that guy or gal is I want to say, okay, and here are the tools you need to really capitalize on your new vision for yourself.
Yeah.
And I really just want to reiterate this again to your viewers. Get Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yeah.
You can listen on tape.
Yeah.
Watch The Secret on Netflix or thesecret.tv and get my free copy of Life's Key Concepts. Those three things, you will have power to be able to move your life in the direction you want to move it.
Amazing.
That's what turns me on, to share that message.
Yes.
And I think I would add one to that would be the Celestine prophecy.
Yeah, that's
because
great.
it talks about opportunity and synchronicity and that circumstances all work together. And I think that really rounds out that reading list right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because the Celestine prophecy really kind of started it for me. And then The Secret came along, and somewhere in there I read Think and Grow Rich, and all of those have been like the basis.
What books do you read and like to motivate you?
Some of the same ones, for
Some of the
sure.
same ones.
Good to Great from another perspective. And I also look at, there's a book that got me moving a while ago. I can't think it's about prophets, and it was about black people who had certain visions of stuff that they were trying to get out in the world.
Is it that 7 a.m. book? Is that it?
No, 7 a.m. was actually a documentary that was about what's going on in the urban community, very much starting. It actually talks about the Rodney King. You might want to see that. It's a documentary that's on YouTube, and it opens up with the Rodney King. And pulling what's the name, Denny out of the truck, and everything that was going on. But it's on YouTube. I saw it at filming on it a couple weeks ago. It was profound. But So that's more about what's going on and how we change it and how we change the current circumstances in our community and how power and money, collaboration and creating an economic development basis in our community, and then the power, and then the next level is being able to make our politicians accountable, and then the top floor level of that is media, having been able to drive our own media conversations and sources, which is why I think it's so important for the Business Zone or anyone else. I think everyone, with the advent of podcasting, and that might be your next step, podcasting. Podcasting is a revolutionary way to get your message out there, to continue to make you authority at what you do, and then people are listening. Podcasting, Dave Ramsey made a big hit. I mean, him and Susie Orsman, they kind of turned podcasting into a money-making fuel machine, like NIX. Like NIX.
Well, I really, you're right. I do think you should get involved in podcasting because you've got the material, you've got the experience and the expertise, and we've got the producer right here. You see what I mean? So she can walk you right through it. She has classes every month that she teaches on this. I'm serious because you've got a population here already waiting, listening. They're hungry for what you have. So I think you should talk to her.
All right.
Right after this show.
Yeah, because podcasting is like the newest and the latest and the greatest way to get your message out. And then because it does go to YouTube, then now you can really push it out.
You control that.
You control where you want it to go, and somebody will pick it up, and you can sell ad space and so forth. Right, Felicia? Am I telling them right? and it can really work. And then,
you
of
make
course,
money while you sleep.
Yeah, and she would be perfect as your partner over here. Just in case you don't want to do all the work yourself.
I definitely don't.
but she's getting ready, because then when you come back from China, you still need to have a way to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So I think it's an amazing way to
I really, really enjoy this show today, this interview.
I told you
would.
Of
you. Oh, yes. She did tell me, but I said, it's probably a regular show. But I was wrong.
I enjoyed it too.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, because we learned quite a bit about you, your philosophy, your process, and how you elevated yourself through the bootstrap approach. And this is amazing.
Now I know why Melba raves about you. So when I go home and when I upload the show, I'm going to send it to her and say, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Because even when I didn't read all the book, but I read through it, it wasn't the same as meeting you in person.
Yes.
And feeling, like I said, I'm an empath.
Yes.
And so I feel the energy of people, and I feel that authenticity and the realness of it. And I think we need more of you.
Oh, yes.
Or more of that energy in the world, especially our business world. I think we're kind of in a environment now where the civilities of life and being happy. I think there are a lot of very unhappy people in this country right now.
I think you're a visionary, and it really pays off right here. So, I mean, there's a lot of people out there in the community who some love you, some hate you, but you've been a trailblazer for them. Because your competitors, I'm sure they hate your guts. but the people who benefit from it, the pain that you're solving, they love you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for what you've done for our community.
So with that being said, want to go ahead and thank our guests for being on the show today. We've got about 7 minutes to go.
So
Crystal.
This weekend is Father's Day weekend for those out there that are fathers, and I know y'all don't get the kind of love and applause that the women do, but we want to.
Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah.
Y'all might get a tie.
No, or a power tool or a lawnmower or something.
Or pajamas.
What's up with that?
A friend of mine said his wife came in his ex-wife now, and that might be why they're ex. She came home and the kids came with a can of popcorn. He's like, "What is this?" he got popcorn and some socks.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
Or a tie.
Popcorn with him, right?
Yeah, he took his popcorn with him. So we want you to know that we appreciate you as men in the world and raising children. In fact, I saw today on Good Morning America, what's the young man's name that, I can't think of his name, but he just adopted a child. Harper Hill.
Oh,
yeah, he got tired of waiting. For meeting that young woman, whoever was going to be the mother of his children. So he went out and got his own baby. He adopted his baby,
That's
and he's a year old.
About.
He's absolutely adorable. And he says, there is nothing in this world as enjoyable as being a father. So would you agree?
I agrry.
Okay, yeah.
Or a grandfather.
Or a grandfather. Grandfather's even better than being sent home. So we want to wish everybody happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so we have to hold you guys up. Y'all do y'all thing. And anything going on? I know. Let me see. I got.
Well, we're looking forward to the 22nd next week.
Yeah, to the 22nd.
Do you want to tell the audience a little bit more about that class?
I do.
What
so on June 22nd, we're doing a Southern California EDGE program, and we're teaching you to create, manage, and build better businesses through networking. And my wonderful co-partner and co-host over here is hosting, and he's teaching and educating on how to use networking to grow and create better relationships, because it's all about relationships too.
And I promise you, audience, once you sign up for this class and you participate in this class, you're going to walk out of there feeling much better about your relationship with contract providers, your workers, and even your team workers that you work with on your project. So it's going to be a great class. We're also going to do some personality profiling. So it's going to be amazing.
So it's from 9 o'clock to 12:30. It is going to be at the U.S. Bank Community Room right there on Slauson and Crenshaw. And there will be light refreshments. There's plenty of parking, so we want you to register. And the best thing of all, it's free.
It's free. So come on down. And this class is sponsored by SoCal Edison, Southern California Edison. And this is part of their EDGE program. It's a phenomenal program. And this is giving you an introduction to their system, wherein we will help you to register. They have a system called the Arriba system. So we'll help you to register in that system so you can go after contract opportunities. So this is going to be a great process.
And it's the first one of a series. There are 4. There's one August 17th, one August 24th, and then September 21st. And all of them are about networking and building networks and relationships within your network of business and people that you meet, and teaching you how to do it right. It's really more than getting a business card and coming home and throwing it in the business card drawer.
Yes. And we talk a lot about Small Biz Pro on this program. Many of you know what it is. Many of you don't know what it is. Small Biz Pro is a business management, procurement assistance, and market research assistance system that I developed over 9 years ago for small businesses to help them to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It gives you a competitive advantage over your competitors. So this system is amazing. We develop an app for that system as well. So you can go to the Apple Store and you can download Small Biz Pro, put it on your phone. You'll be able to access the system so you can use it. You can upload your documents or retrieve your documents in 10 seconds or less from anywhere in the world. You can also access procurement and bid opportunities and conduct market research on your phone, your tablet, or your laptop. Now, the app allows you also to send your capability statements to contract providers and also to a customer, which is amazing. This is an amazing new tool that we just developed in Small Biz Pro. So we're going to have it set up so you can go in, you can have your capability statement uploaded by us, and then you can send it to whomever you want. So you don't have to resort to your office or anywhere to obtain your capability statement. Just access the app and you're good to go.
Okay, and so the last thing announcement we want to make is the Biz Camp for the kids between the ages of 14 and 18. Any student, any budding entrepreneur that you have in your household, bring them out to the class. To the Biz Camp, July 10th to the 21st from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is free of charge as well, parents. We will have your children all day long, so that in itself should be a treat. And the deadline is June 30th. So if you're interested in your child participating, contact Kenny Kene Turner at 213-250-8384, and his email is kenet@nifte.com, and deadline is June 30th.
And Tom, if you have any parting words, any phone numbers, emails, or addresses you want to hand out so they know how to reach you?
Well, if you go to nixland.net, you can reach me through the website. There's a contact page there, and love to hear from anybody if they have questions or anything like that.
Yes.
And so it's N as in November, IXLAND, nixland.net. Nixland is what we called our marketing area. This was Nixland.
That's beautiful.
We're in Nixland
That's
right now.
beautiful.
Okay.
I love that.
So this was your marketing.
This is
Yeah.
our marketing area.
Yeah.
Nixland.
Okay.
And anyone that might want Tom to come talk to their organization or group, let us know.
Yeah, let
because,
us know.
He has a great message, and he's looking forward to sharing it.
Excellent,
So in many ways
excellent.
possible.
And Norma, do you want to share something about how individuals can contact you, small business or otherwise?
Yes, well, please do. I'm on Facebook, Norma T. Hollis, and you can email me at coaching@normahollis.com. So please do reach out. Look forward to, I love to coach people on being professional speakers, if you would like to do that, or just being more true to who you truly are and being that. So.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then
Finding your voice.
Finding your voice. And Norma and I actually going to be roommates at the Power Network
All
conference
right.
in July. That's
Excellent.
George Frazier's conference. I am looking forward to it.
Me
I'm very
too.
excited.
Yeah.
Is this your first time?
I went in 2002.
Oh, in Dallas?
I haven't been back. No, it was in Cleveland then.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
Oh.
been back since then, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a powerful experience for those of you that know anything about the Power Networking Conference. It is probably one of the largest black business conferences that everything is focused on that, and it's hosted by FrazierNet.com, FrazierNet, which is George Frazier, and it's 1,500 people, primarily African Americans, but people who come together to network, and some amazing speakers and connections going on. And the opening ceremony is connecting us to our colors of our tribes that we came, or our villages that we came from. Yeah, it is. And they do a timeline all the way back to Egypt, and then bring it up, and then they talk about your DNA, and it's a powerful
It must
experience.
be Anthony Browder doing that.
Yeah, it is Anthony Browder. So I got to go get my African my outfit so I can feel.
We have African market for that. My outfit for that. I have to thank you. I don't know what all the attire is.
Well, that one is my own. I just feel like I want to be proud of that.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a wonderful trip for you guys. I can't be on it, but I really appreciate you guys bringing back some information for
Well,
me.
you're gonna hold down the show. Here
I'm going to hold down the show while you guys are away. So we want to thank our listeners and our viewers for participating in the show today. This was a wonderful show, very educational, very uplifting, and I've learned a lot today from our guest.
Me too.
And we're looking forward to the next show next week. Our anniversary is coming up in July, so be on the lookout. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic, and we're out.
And we'll see you next week.
Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.